The Yi Zhou situation with Jeremy Renner is just ridiculous. Okay. Yi Zhou gave a, I don't know, walk and talk interview with TMZ. We're about to watch it. Okay. And I find this whole situation very disturbing. Please note that I'm going to say some things that are not going to land very well with some folks, but it's some things that I just personally find to be disturbing of this whole situation between the allegations that she's making, between what he is saying, and overall just where we are allocating some of the outrage that's happening online. Okay. For both parties, I will say. When Yi Zhou came online and put out the allegations against Jeremy Renner, she made it sound like this was a man that was not leaving her alone. This was a man who she had been working with on projects. And specifically, this was somebody that, there might have been a romantic interest. It sounded initially like she denied him or at least wasn't interested because he was sending her all kinds of explicit images. And, he was asking, she was cropping these text messages, and then she was going to his property and she had to lock herself in the bathroom or in a room or whatever because he was being what seems to be very verbally abusive, and he was drinking, and she was texting not only friends and family, but it sounds like friends that are closer to this Disney project that they had together. That was my understanding. And then she crops the message about the whole ICE situation. Now, of course, she doesn't fully disclose everything that's being said, but she does put that out. As somebody who has seen misusing ICE and deportation to hurt people, especially people that they've been in relationships with, about the ICE situation, she never really shared what her immigration status was, or if it was at risk, or if she had a work visa. None of that was really shared, right? But she put that out there as to say, like, guys, I'm in an abusive situation. So now the narrative has changed a little bit, right? And I personally don't feel like Yi Zhou is being 1000% honest and is really kind of playing in our faces. And I hate to put that out there, but when I saw her give this TMZ interview that we're about to watch, I have to side eye the situation. I know I have a lot of people in here that feel some type of way, and I understand that Jeremy Renner is an asshole. Like, I've seen, he doesn't have the best record. I'm just saying, like, I don't know the man personally. He doesn't look like a nice guy to me. I don't know. He doesn't strike me as such. Never had a conversation. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the man is lying about what's happening. And all of these allegations that have been alleged against him, I think require a revisit. I don't like people misusing, of course, ICE. I think that that's horrible. But I also don't like people misinforming the crowd, which, I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting the sense that Yi Zhou is not being honest about what is happening here, but that is my opinion. You guys don't have to share the opinion with me. I want to show you guys this interview that she just did with TMZ that I think totally requires a conversation.
Yi Zhou, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I have to ask you, you've been in the press a little bit lately about the recent legal situation with Jeremy Renner. I wanted to ask you about that and kind of just ask you what's true, what's not true.
Well, first of all, I had been supported by the media since always, so it's not like I needed anything to advertise for anything or for myself. And I have
what when she says this, and like I said, I'm looking at it in an angle of there's so many people out there, both men and women, because men can also be victims. Some of you don't want to recognize that, but it's the truth. I have seen men even be victimized by, I'm calling ICE, or I'm doing this if you do this type of situation. The difference here is that she is saying that she has been supported by the media and always has been, right? Some victims don't get that support, okay?
have to say that right now I'm really happy that I can speak out and I have the support of the media to voice my concerns, my sorrow, and what I went through. And I'm happy that the media has been giving me opportunity, that the media has been fair to me in the reporting. And so I want to be grateful. I want to be, grateful also to the fans for voicing their opinion.
Yeah.
And about the situation. I think what I would like to say is, as women, it's okay to voice your opinion under the First Amendment.
Here's my question, and I think it's a fair question, right? Is she upset that he has been harassing her, threatening her, or is she upset that the relationship has ended? And the other side to this too, then using the media to launch a campaign against this man, which, like I said, I'm not defending him. I know he doesn't have the best record. Sorry, he doesn't need my defense for that. But I have to ask the honest question here. Is she is this about harassment? Is this about victimizing her? Or is this about the fact that the relationship was over or that he didn't want to go public with the relationship?
It's okay to share if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel frightened sometimes, if you feel disappointed, like I have been. And I thought it was love, maybe true love, maybe growing love, but it seems that he thinks otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's okay, you know.
Now, if he was saying to her, yeah, we're romantically involved, nobody knows, stay with me, like forcing her to be in a situation where she's having to be in a relationship. And if she's not in this relationship, then he's calling ICE. Then yeah, like that's concerning. But I'm not even hearing that because, again, the text message doesn't really reveal that. How do I know that, it's not saying something about calling ICE because of the work visa situationship or having to travel over projects that they were working together? We don't know. Maybe that's why he put that in there. That's what it's a bit concerning to me, to just release something like this and not give all context. So I have to kind of wonder, guys, and put your thinking hats on. And I know I have a lot of survivors that follow me. The way in which she's advocating here, I'm all for self-advocacy, but I have to ask you guys again, is this about her being harassed or is this about the ending of a relationship and then her not being able to understand that?
Seems that he thinks otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's okay, opinions are subjective, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm very happy that I have the chance to be able to speak up. And I'm really happy also, and I want to thank also Mr. Singer, who also represented me, his firm represented me. So I want to also thank him for being a peacemaker, even if he's representing the other party right now. So I just want to say thank you, and we would love to work towards a peaceful resolution, because we need peace in this world. We don't want war. We don't want more war. We don't want more conflict. And that's how I would like to resolve. And I hope we can have more compassion and more forgiveness for each other and for every other people who reach out to me to tell me their story.
I do want to ask, he kind of said that, Jeremy said that
Marty Singer, who is Jeremy Renner's attorney, said, "You have no personal relationship with my client other than an extremely brief and entirely consensual encounter on only one occasion in July of 2025, declares a November 7th cease and desist letter sent to Zhou from Renner's lawyer, which is Marty Singer. Okay. But apparently, Marty says in the letter, my client agreed to support your career by appearing in your documentary about Disney. Okay. We have since learned that you are also falsely claiming that my client supposedly narrated an entire AI generated animated film. My client has no knowledge of and did not willingly participate in any AI generated animation or other project with you other than her Disney documentary. Please take notice if you continue to exploit my client's name, likeness, or voice in connection with entertainment projects other than the Disney documentary for which he interviewed on July 12th, 2025, you will be exposed to a multi-millions of dollars in liability for commercial misappropriation of my client's valuable rights of publicity. Listen, Marty Singer is doing the Marty thing. Y'all know that he's like a heavyweight in the representing these celebrities. Jeremy is denying all these accusations. And what bothers me is the way in which she says, well, we need peace. Let me tell you, when you're sitting on that other side, when somebody is being threatened with immigration and ICE, this is not what it looks like. when a victim wants peace. They're not thinking of this isn't it. I'm sorry. I think that this woman has duped the social media streets when she started putting out that she was being abused. This man's not leaving her alone. I don't think it went down this way.
Came onto him. You know, you were saying otherwise, that it was actually him who came onto you and was sending you pictures. You know, why do you think he said that?
Well, I just think it's the reverse playbook. When they feel accused, it's a template they share.
And that could have very well been the case. Maybe they were romantically involved and it went just crazy. And that does not give him the right to be an ass. I mean, people should be able to walk away and safely, you know, move away from such situations. But my friends, the way in which she's positioned herself here, I don't know what it is. And maybe it's because I think I've seen this play out where maybe she's still trying to keep it cute because this is her job, and you know she's still trying to save whatever she needs to save as far as project goes. And like I said, I can believe that Jeremy Renner is not a nice person. I can. I just don't know if all of this went down the way in which she has said, and it's a bit of like she's talking in circles, guys.
To say the female actually was there, but I think it works if it was in the past, you know, when people didn't have social media, didn't have all these digital media. So it was he said, she said, and nobody can prove it. Now we live in a world where it's all digitalized. We have a digital trace, a metadata.
But what are we trying to prove? That he was harassing her when there was a romantic relationship? Did she try to end the relationship and then he was harassing her? Did this really go down the way in which she's explaining it? Because it's not given that to me.
Yeah. So it's no longer he said, she said. It's more difficult to prove. So,
yeah. And you have those receipts to prove that?
Yes,
You know,
and I have posted everything, and I wanted to share in honesty, transparency. But hopefully, you know, we can move towards a peaceful resolution. That's all we hope for.
And even in one of those messages, there was, you know,
if you're accusing me of harassing you and we were in a relationship, and I'm just saying this, and I'm this Hollywood actor, you're accusing me of doing things that, and you're cropping images and they're not making sense, and you're doing all this. I, on the other side, am not going to want a peaceful resolution. I'm going to want to hold you accountable to the things that you put out there. This is why it's very important to make sure that you are consistent when you are putting this information out. People want to expose people, and I'm here for it. But why not file a police report if this man is harassing you? She hasn't done that. A lot of victims don't. I'm hesitant about her story, guys, because it's not. But guys, I'm not the end all be all. You guys have your opinions.
a comment made about calling ICE on you. You know, what was that like for you?
So of course it's difficult because you know, you don't want to be threatened and everything, especially by your significant other. Well, at least I believe he was my significant other. And especially, you know, I'm just...
At least I believe he was my significant other. So is that when it became a threat, or before that? Is it because he didn't want to be public with this relationship? Is that what this is? And again, he could be a complete, you know, whatever, as far as I care. I don't think he's a nice guy. Please note that I don't know him personally, but I've heard different stories. Is this the way in which she is making this out to be? He has a right to defend himself as well, right? Especially if he is wrongfully being portrayed. The business in Hollywood is all about this, right? Image and whatnot. But let's keep going.
Just here and everything is okay. And also, that's it.
I'll let you go in a sec, but I do want to ask, you know, you thought he was your significant other initially. Things kind of went left quickly, but, you know, there were good times that you two had together, or, you know, do you want to...
I think there's a good side of him, and I hope he can develop more that side of him. And if he works more towards those directions, I think he can be a good person in the long run. But he needs to put in work, and most of all, have respect for women. And
I don't know, man. Like I said, I sit here and I'm listening to her. I don't know how I feel about this.
To dignify us, because we're not objects, and we should be treated with respect. And that's all I'm asking for. And
I can agree to that, right? But You want to be treated with respect. I mean, the fallout is there. I don't know how I feel about this.
I'm voicing not to get any settlement money.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I just want other women to feel safe, to be able to speak up and to say what they went through with anybody.
So why not put charges on him? I mean, why not do that, right? You're talking about safety.
Lastly, like you said, you're looking for peace with this situation. You know, do you see it heading towards that resolution?
Yes, I think we're heading towards that resolution. I'm very positive, and I'm appealing to Mr. Singer that can make it happen, and I'm very positive it will happen.
All right, thank you. Hey,
Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you believe her? Do you not believe her? You guys are entitled to your opinion. I'm on the fence on this one. I'm going to be honest with you because I've seen firsthand accounts with victims that have been threatened with ICE, the U visa, all that process, both men and women that I've seen be threatened and having to work with, law enforcement to seek protection. And I don't know what her situation is, to put something out there and it was only cropped up to only show a little bit of it, knowing that this would definitely make people question this man's intentions. And then you're saying that he's harassing you, he's sending you all these kind of pics, but then we're finding out later whether there was a romantic relationship. I do have to kind of wonder where do we draw the line? It's people are allowed to say no, and people are allowed to sever ties. And this man also doesn't owe her anything. He's not mandated to be in a relationship with her. I think that it's important that people know that. Where do you guys land in this situation? I'm side-eyeing a lot. And this interview kind of shows that to me. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Open for a conversation all the time. Bye, guys.